Welcome to today's tutorial. I am going to show you a variation on an Infiniti Bun, which is sort of like a triple Infiniti Bun or a trio bun maybe, and I will show you what it looks like. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I have put a little bit of oil through the ends of my hair. It still looks quite dry, my ends are quite dry at the moment, and I have put some dry shampoo through the roots to get a little bit of extra volume in my fine hair, and I am going to start off French plaiting down to the base of my neck, and then I am going to switch to a rope braid. I will turn around so you can see that. Let's get myself in the rope. Make sure you can see. There we go. So I'm starting off with a normal 3-stranded French braid. I'm using an over pattern, but you could do a Dutch under pattern if that was your preference. I'm using quite narrow sections and making sure to give them a little bit of a half twist as I add them to the bun to ensure that they actually all sit slightly over each other and hide things slightly. Coming towards the end of the neck, I split it into 2 and twist the right strand over the left, and then twist my individual strands in a normal rope braid pattern, and then move around to the front where it is much easier to do this kind of braid. You will find that it will be much easier to turn one way versus the other way, presumably because that's the way your braiding has been turning or twisting, and secure the end. Okay, I have finished my front plait and the transition into the rope braid. I have rope braided quite tightly and I have secured the end with a clear elastic. If you are doing a continuing of your 3-strand braid, or if you're just doing this yourself and you're not talking in between the steps, you don't really need to secure it. It will work just fine without. I just thought it would be a good idea. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the same process you would do for an Infiniti Bun, but instead of just pushing over this first loop, we'll push over the first loop and then we'll pick up the next loop, put an extra twist in it so that it twists around again, and we will put those 2 loops at the top. I find that the ones at the top work better, and then I am going to use a hair fork to secure it. The hair fork should be focused mainly on the second and then the final loops, which is the one that stays at the bottom, and the first loop should stay pretty much on its own. You may need to pin it down for an aesthetic if you would like to at the end. So I will show you what that looks like. One more tip, always try and make sure that if you're twisting a rope braid, twist it in the same direction that it is twisted so that you're making it tighter rather than looser. If you twist it the other way, you're just undoing your rope braid as you go. Okay? Okay, so that is the method. I find that this bun has a very good weight distribution, and it looks a lot more even on my longer hair than the Infiniti Bun does. I don't know why, but I really struggle to get the Infiniti Bun to work. This bun will work if you don't use plaits, but this is a much easier way of getting it, and I find that it distributes the weight a lot easier, especially having the French plait base. I find that most buns over a French plait base will last longer through the day, be more comfortable, and in general just feel more secure, because you've got so much more distribution of where the pressure is going on your head. Okay, so I will give you a spin and I will show you this bun one more time. I hope you like it. I do apologise for the distinct lack of tutorials recently. I have been trying to work on some sewing project videos and struggling with some of the cinematography on it, and I also no longer have a camera that does any decent filming, so I had to find a decent mount for my phone, because there's no point in buying a new camera when my phone films in such high quality. Okay, so happy styling!